For over a century, Ohio and Marshall have journeyed the roughly 80 miles through the Ohio River Valley for this border battle. Dual-threat quarterback Rakeem Cato drives the Thundering Herd's high-powered offense, hoping the Huntington crowd spirit will enable Marshall to build on their undefeated start. The Bobcats and the Herd, the battle for the bell, next on the CBS Sports Network. The Marshall Band, the Marching Thunder, adding to the pregame festivities here in Huntington, West Virginia, home of the Thundering Herd, representing Conference USA against their former rivals from the MAC, the Ohio Bobcats, here on CBS Sports Network. Gaudy numbers and a potential Heisman Trophy candidate.
Yeah, and last week they decided to say, look, Rakeem Cato, you're going to have to beat us with your legs. And he did, running for over 100 yards. But this kid is extremely accurate. He's a tape rat. He's a guy that will go after a defense. Defenses only have to be off a little bit.
That's right, guys. Big rivalry weekend here, and right now we're going to take a look back at the history between Ohio and Marshall, sponsored by Bud Light. What will happen next? And this is a rivalry that dates back to 1905. Today's contest, the 58th matchup between these two teams. Now, we had a chance to speak with both coaches about this rivalry. They said, without a doubt, this is a game that their guys get really pumped up for.
Devin Bass, Daz Patterson, deep men for Ohio. Corey Vedvik, redshirt freshman from Norway, will handle the kickoff duties for Marshall. And we are underway here from Huntington. Near the goal line, Bass will bring it out and dropped right away at the 13-yard line. That'll fire up the crowd. So Marshall will take over from its own 20, and Rakeem Cato at the controls of this offense. First down the give to Devin Johnson, and he's close to a first team All-Conference USA selection last year. Jasperis working with some new members on this offensive line against a veteran defensive front for Ohio. On 3rd and long, open man down the sideline, Devontae Allen. Devin Bass on the stop, but not before a big gainer here for the Herd.
Well, this all starts with this protection. They bring a blitz. They pick the blitz up perfectly. And look at that placement with the ball. And that's something that Rakeem Cato.
Justin Haig on for the 36-yard field goal try. Kicks up on the way and through. Another redshirt senior from Delray Beach, Florida. Perfect 3 of 3 on field goal tries this year. Vic looking long again, into double coverage and knocked away. Trying to find Landon Smith, and broken up DJ Hunter, getting back from his outside linebacker spot to help out in coverage. And solid numbers in the opener against Kent State. Struggled a week ago against the Wildcats. In the flat to Patterson. Good pursuit on the outside. Taekwon Lang able to trip him up. Came into this game as the leading tackler in the first 2 games for the Herd. Vic, pressure again. In and out of the hands of his receiver, Jordan Reed. Corey Tyndall able to come up and help break it up.
Vic is just not getting that much like mustard into the throws, and you know why. He's getting hit, and that's why the ball was a little bit of a floater, because if he keeps floating these to the outside, he's going to pay with an interception.
So for the 26-yard line, Cato and the Herd.
You see Cato in this offense keep that pace up they did in the opening sequence.
Johnson up the middle on first down, lumbering for about a dozen yards to near the 40.
It's been drizzling a little bit. The ball gets slick.
Cato to the outside again. Hold it again. Allen burns Bass for the 2nd time on a deep ball down the sideline. The redshirt junior from Belgrade, Florida.
Nice protection, ball down the field, high pointing the ball. Excellent job. There are 3 arms on that ball initially, but then there are only 2 as he rips it away. 1 foot down initially is all you need. That's a beautiful job by Allen.
36-yard pickup, 6'2", working on the 5'9" defender.
Thus he has a higher point, right? You would think.
Able to get up and outreach his man. Allen closing in on 100 yards receiving already. Going back to the well one more time. Got it! Touchdown!
Two beautiful catches by Allen. Very nice throws by Rakeem Cato, and you have to note, he's got a lot of license in this offense. If he sees a matchup or a play he likes, don't be surprised if they keep going back to the same spots. He liked that matchup. He likes it even more the second time. Second time, it's 6 points.
Marshall with a 10-0 lead. Another deep kick from Vedvik and a touchback. So Ohio will get ready to go. Rakeem Cato, 35th straight game with a touchdown pass. That's 3 away from tying Russell Wilson's record when he was at NC State and Wisconsin, of course, going on to the Super Bowl title with the Seahawks. This guy has just been uber consistent for Marshall.
And he's taking on very much, for Doc Holliday, very much the same kind of personality as a Russell Wilson. You can see him there around his teammates. He's become the hood ornament guy. He's become the beacon on the sideline. Guys look to him. Receivers come to him immediately with their input. He goes to his receivers immediately for their input as to where they are and how things are going. He's become Marshall football.
Vick try to set up a screen to Patterson and nothing doing.
Tell you, throwing the ball for Darius Vick is really resulting in fall-away jumpers a lot here early. He is taking some shots.
Come up a little bit gingerly. The Cato airing it out. Allen been his primary target so far.
Yeah, and Bass has been the primary victim so far at cornerback. Rakeem Cato has identified him. So I'll keep an eye on Tommy.
And the give on the play to Stuart Butler.
That's why this young receiver, Schuler's caught as many passes as he has, over 100 the last 2 years.
Cato on 2nd and 10. Coming near side to Craig Wilkins. Cuts it back. That's another first down for the Herd. And the experience of a veteran senior. Handoff. Good running room. And Marshall moving the chains at will. It's Butler again with a big gainer.
All up front is what's going on right here. This is all this offensive line on the left, on the right side. And they're so...
Little discussion up front with his line on this play call on 3rd and 9. Flush from the pocket. He'll leg it up, trying to slide for the first down. We'll see if he got there.
That's going to be, I think, just short, and I think he could use a sliding coach. Anybody know any old spare Yankees? Maybe get a few baseball players in here? You could hurt yourself doing that.
Well, it is enough for the first down. 1st and goal for the Herd.
And that's what happens when you man off like that, deep zone, and give him all that room to run. He'll take it now.
To the end zone. Touchdown again, Allen over Bass. Well, if they don't stop it, keep going to it, and the Herd are going to pound that area right now.
Well, it's the height advantage, it's the touch advantage, it's the hands advantage. This is all of that. Rakeem Cato again going after Bass, targeting Allen. No one's done so far is put that ball on the ground. Rakeem Cato has been as advertised. Spotless throwing so far. Great leadership. Excellent.
And there is Devontae Allen. Couple of touchdown grabs for him. At a career high 5 catches for 115 yards last week against Rhode Island. How about 4 grabs, 113 yards, and 2 scores so far in this opening period. And Rakeem Cato continuing to work with his team, keeping them fired up.
Talking to the defense there.
Yeah, guys, well, after that touchdown, Rakeem Cato came down to the sidelines yelling at his guys, we ain't done, we ain't done. He is not content with a 17-0 lead, wants his guys to keep pushing.
As an offensive player too, Suzanne, I can tell you, You go to your defense in that situation. Our quarterback, Joe Montana, used to do that. I played with John Shira at UCLA, who's going in the Hall of Fame this year. You go to your defense and you say, get us the ball. We're going to score again. Just get us the ball.
Vic and the Bobcats backed up. He was the Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year last season. He's the preseason pick to win it again this season. And the leader of this offense, which has been one of the nation's top threats yardage-wise. Only Baylor, Oregon, and Texas A&M, which get a lot of pub for putting it up and down the field. Marshall's right there, too.
And Baylor last night won their game. They were spreading that thing all over the place. And it's something Rakeem Cato and this offense proudly do. And they've put up 196 yards so far in one quarter. So that's right about a pretty prolific pace. A film rat, being a football guy. He's constantly in the game, constantly in the plan.
Butler, good work for him as the change of pace from Johnson. Basham able to drag him down, but Butler pickup of 7.
Take a look from the end zone. Excellent blocking up front. I mean, they are. So you guys get your chances. You better catch them.
Cato looking deep. Got a man. That's Gene Lewis. Another big play for the Herd inside the Ohio 30. Carpenter saved a touchdown.
Running stride for stride with Carpenter. You hear the term, boy, they're fast when the ball gets in the air. Gene Lewis was even with Carpenter until that ball. No, not the one they were playing.
Another flag coming in.
Again, right there in that holding area, coming in from the umpire. Elby's 54. That's that must have been a penalty for past transgressions, because he sure didn't do anything on that play. Must have held in a former wife.
And they hit the 61-yard pass to Gene Lewis on that other 3rd and forever. 3rd and 26 this time. Cato, again complete. It'll be just short of the first down. Able to find Devontae Allen, who's got a career high in yardage now. Well over 124-yard pickup.
Beautiful protection. They bring 5. He had 6 blockers. They pick up the blitz. Just that far away from an escape with a spin off that tackle from getting that first down, but setting up a much nicer field goal situation.
To Justin Haig is on to attempt it. 37-yarder this time. And Haig knocks it through. 4 of 4 on field goals so far in 2014, and the Herd now with a 20-point cushion.
That's called running to throw.
Big stick by Rouse. Vic, pocket collapsing, slips out of trouble, but can't jitterbug his way any further. Now the Herd bringing a host of characters, including Neville Hewitt.
Well, initially it's only a 3-man rush, and they beat the offensive line with a 3-man rush. Linebacker support comes up late, but that's something that should never happen. 3 down linemen beating 5 offensive linemen. Perfect execution, though, for Marshall.
Rouse, the veteran, leading that push into the backfield. Bonstetter to punt. Schuler from his own 21. Sidesteps the man, has an alley, and the punter finally drops him. Rakeem Cato back with the offense. And to give to Devin Johnson up the middle. The bigger of the 2 backs that have been working here for the Herd. And Johnson started his career at linebacker for just a bit. It was a tight end in college.
Yeah.
And then due to some holes, they moved him in fall camp over the summer to running back, and he's been terrific.
Yeah, but, you know, nicknames aren't always fair. We talked about, you know, the White Lightning. You know, sometimes it's, hey, partner, or something you might see. Johnson's nickname?
Rockhead. Said they gave it to him after he blew up a double team on special teams, but he was a running back in high school, good one, over 4,300 yards. And again, hole was there. They put in there partly for pass protection in their scheme, but the running has been a bonus, and he's a low. 6'1", 243, and he's faster than you think.
Yeah, and you've got to see what Rakeem Cato sees. He sees nothing but air and nothing but space in front of him.
Cato looking long one more time, almost an incredible catch by Craig Wilkins.
Yeah, that was a beautiful deep ball. You know, if Wilkins is just burning it and going from the jump, I think he's got a chance to run this down, and that's a mistake that a lot of receivers make, is not just going crazy right from the get-go. And double receivers low, double receivers high, those twin setups, you got safety somewhere near the box, but it's 5 in the box.
Cato, he'll run with it. Scampering out of bounds inside the 20, first down Hurd. And not known as a deliberate runner and known for his speed, had 143 yards in the ground and scrambling last week and able to move enough.
Well, when he decides to scramble, remember, inside in that box area, you have a linebacker and you have 4 defensive linemen. Everybody's off on coverage. That's why no one can catch Rakeem Cato there.
Cato again. To the end zone.
Did he get the foot down?
Touchdown, says the official. Tommy Shuler got it.
Man, is that going to look gorgeous in slow motion? Tommy Shuler, he drops a dead leg on the Ohio Bobcats.
You talked about the timing for two guys that have been playing together since their Pee-wee days in South Florida. Here it is.
Right at the very end, watch his legs go limp. He's bringing that ball in just as that last foot is touching. They're going to take another look at that upstairs because it's a scoring play. But that was absolutely gorgeous. What a throw and catch.
Cato putting it on the money. Only Shuler could get there, and he did. Haig with the extra point makes it 27-0.
Well, if you had any questions about this Marshall offense coming in here, or said, who's Rakeem Cato and why all the fuss, there's one of the reasons all the fuss, and that's one of his prime assistants and accomplices in creating the fuss, Tommy Shuler. Well, you can't place the ball more perfectly for a touch pass on the perimeter than that right there by Rakeem.
And last week, the Bobcats threatened to get run out of the stadium in Lexington by Kentucky. Outgained big time the first quarter, but they stabilized after that. But the offense really never got on track. Big hit in the backfield.
That ball's loose. It's live. It's live.
Marshall picking it up and now blown dead. Boy, it didn't seem like there was an initial whistle.
The referee was right there. He didn't call that ball was dead.
Neville Hewitt had the huge hit to pop it loose.
Oof. That wasn't a throw. That ball was ejected. Vic knew it. I think that was a fumble.
Well, Doc Holliday taking a timeout.
No whistles were blown. No hands were waved. And Doc Holliday's got this timeout. That was a beautiful, beautiful call, beautiful execution by the Marshall D. Getting more pressure on Vic. Was it a forward pass? That ball is back. It's the motion, it's the momentum of the defender that drives the ball forward. Watch the very end. Is this a toss? Is this a throw? Yeah, I guess it is. And it does go forward.
That kind of secondary motion as he was going down.
Even though he was being hit, he still threw it with that right hand. The slower you look at it, the better the call looks. Even having said that, if he'd have thrown the ball backwards or lateral, that'd have been a live ball. But it isn't backwards, and it's not lateral.
But it's close.
It's very close. It lands in front of that 30-yard line, though, and that's the bogey you needed to see. He was standing on the 30.
3rd and 10.
Marshall's done a great job since that first deep pass, keeping everything in front of him.
And that one may be picked off.
And he's down.
So the Herd defense doing it again. So Vic puts it up deep. And the interception for Taj Letman.
Yeah, Taj Letman, great job. Look at him get his hands and his forearms and his elbows under the ball. Watch his arms. That's a nice job. Cradle that thing in there. Don't give it a chance to hit the ground. Well done.
Cato back at it from their own 37. Angelo Jean Lewis, short gainer.
So they're going to get 6 to 8 yards every time they throw it if they want it.
Out to Schuler for the Herd.
A beautiful twisting catch here by Schuler. That ball was in the air well before he had any intent of making his break. Good anticipation by Rakeem Cato, but look at his feet underneath him. He gets pulled over the top. Look at his right foot just got trapped.
Final 40 seconds here, first half. Cato, time again. Open man down the middle. First down to the 26-yard line. Hylek Foster, freshman from Gaffney, South Carolina, impressing coaches. Well, that to the outside, and that'll end it. But Rakeem Cato and the Thundering Herd with a monster opening half. And remember, they deferred on the opening toss, so the Herd will have the ball to begin after the break. 27-0 in favor of Marshall. Frank Solich and company have some work to do in the locker room.
Down the field, but right now as a team, I'd call it flawed dominance. They are dominating. Cato's accuracy has been excellent, especially to Allen in these big spots, letting his guy go get it and trusting him not to deflect it for any kind of a, turnover or something. But you've had a lot of penalties, six penalties for the Thundering Herd, 6 also for Ohio, but specifically to Marshall. You want to be a dominant team, have a dominant second half without the mistakes.
284 in the air, 390 is an offense in the half.
And no doubt Doc Holliday looking to finish these drives off and not settle for those field goals.
Yeah, they missed the field goal in that last possession. Otherwise, they would have scored on every drive in the opening half. Big return here for the Herd out to near the 30-yard line. Cato on 3rd and 5. The front door was jammed. Backing up, time and space to the edge, and a reception made. Eric Frohnapple, the 6'7" senior target, able to haul it in on the edge.
Frohnapple does a heck of an imitation of Tommy Schuler here as the little man dancing on the sideline. Frohnapple, big, tall tight end, gets that 1 foot in. Beautiful job maintaining his position on the sideline, waiting for the ball.
Nice crane effect to snatch it before he fell out. Off the first down, on the ground, twisting ahead is Butler. From the Ohio 46, Butler again. Through the hole, spinning his way free for more. And Marshall moving the chains one more time.
What a beautiful plant by Butler. Watch him get in the hole and plant. Oops. That's.
Johnson spelling Butler, and he'll shake free. Rockhead to the end zone. Touchdown, Marshall. Devin Johnson scores it, and old Rockhead delivers. Johnson of the ground game.
5 defenders in the box. You've got to be able to say, hey, what the heck? I see 5. I'm letting my offensive linemen get their blocks. Great block there by Selby. He holds it the longest. Johnson has no one in there.
Kind of a fly sweep for Patterson running around and nothing doing. Marshall able to sniff it out. Hewitt right there for the tackle.
Yeah, what a nice job by Hewitt. He maintains his leverage the whole way. Ball starts, looks like it's starting away. He doesn't buy it. He stays right there.
Vick, time, down the sideline, incomplete. Looking for Brendan Cope, and broken up on the play. Darryl Roberts able to help thwart it, and it's punt time again for the Bobcats. And Rakeem Cato back at it again, already eclipsing a season high in yards. 7 shy of 300 early in the third quarter.
This formation, 6 in the box defensively, a single safety high in the middle, one-on-one coverage top of the screen.
Time, throwback, complete. Gene Lewis able to haul it in. And again, Cato continuing to find a home here at Marshall after making his way from Miami, and has just blossomed here to a star for the Herd. Scrambling to the side, sidearms it, got him in! Gene Lewis to the end zone. Touchdown, Herd.
Yeah, just like you draw it up. Cato was flush from the pocket, runs to his left. Remember, he's a right-handed quarterback. As he runs to the left, it's hard to get velocity. It's hard to get accuracy for most quarterbacks. He hits Gene Lewis right flat dead on the run as he's pursued for an easy 6 points.
Firing up his teammates, his last effort had to have them on their feet cheering.
Yeah, especially this part right here. Just almost a sidearm from his hip. He delivers this to Gene Lewis right in stride. I mean,
as Doc Holliday, rest of the coaches will tell you, they say he may be the most competitive person they've ever met. And Doc Holliday will say, hey, I was around Tim Tebow at Florida, around Phillip Rivers at NC State. Not that he's better, but he may be even more competitive than those guys whose competition level is renowned. And he's got it too. And you can see it. Cato here on the sideline, up 40+. He's still imploring his teammates not to quit.
I don't know where this kid gets all this energy early in the season. He's constantly going. That's the #1 trait for a quarterback, though, is competitive nature.
And with the penalty, easy kickoff into the end zone for the touchback. And Cato out again, rooting on the kickoff man. Corey Vedvik. Get a slap on the helmet from your star QB.
You do this for 12, 13 more weeks, you might be able to run for office.
Yeah, he has found a home here at Marshall, growing as a player and a person. 2nd and 5. Vick looking for Cochran, incomplete. And Tavis Rowe, the redshirt freshman from Atlanta, on the coverage along with Darryl Roberts.
Same kind of route you saw Rakeem Cato throw to his receiver, Allen. Sort of a trust route, but his passes were thrown.
Done the job last year, 10-4, 7-1, first in the Conference USA's East Division. They went to the CSU title game before falling to Rice, and certainly they're a threat to get there again. And with their schedule, as we alluded to, a threat maybe to win them all.
A lot of people have seen that movie, We Are Marshall, and that's what this community is. This community is Marshall. I mean, you go to the hotel, they talk about the recruits. You go in the restaurants, they're talking about the football team. A great community feel, and everything about this whole area belongs to the university. It just feels good. It's all about Doc Holliday's football team here.
And the plane crash in 1970 killed 75 aboard. Majority of the football team, coaches, boosters, fans, devastated the community, building back up. Great success at the 1AA, the FCS level in the mid-90s, couple of national championships. And since moving back up, they are continuing to raise their profile in FBS. But a lot of work on comeback trail here. Vick pressure throws, and off his intended target. You can see why. Neville cruising in. Well, they've had some fairly adept passers here over the years at Marshall. Chad Pennington, Myron Leftwich, both moving on to the NFL, and Rakeem Cato. If you stack out his numbers, he's on pace to pass them both.
He should be number one. Number one now, Chad Pennington. Great class act. Had the honor of covering Chad when he was in the NFL, initially with the Jets. Still lives here in the area. And, you know, I'm sure Rakeem Cato has benefited from having a guy like Chad Pennington around, too, to give him a few pointers on quarterbacking.
Throw to the outside. And a nice reception. Bouncing to the outside. And that's Butler again, who has done good work on his carries. 9-yard pickup. Butler again takes on a tackler and spinning away for a couple more.
And when you run a spread like this, it even widens the space that the defender has to defend.
Fake to Butler. Cato, secondary man, down there, caught it. That's Schuler. And the little Schuler crowd chant here in Huntington.
Perfect timing on that. Cato sees he's got a man, hits the fake hard, and then puts that ball up. Schuler gets the hand underneath. Outside of that first drive, he was under pressure most of the time he was in the game. So I thought he stood up and requited himself quite well in this type of situation.
Now the throw to the flat and taken over by the Herd. They'll call that a fumble recovery, and Marshall ball, let's see. Looked like a screen.
Ball is thrown back behind him.
Over 400 yards in the game, in the air. About 30 or so off his all-time career high. And the run game continues to help the offense. That's Watson. Sprague, pressure. Keeps it alive. And can't link up with his man down the field in Jordan Reed.
Yeah, one good sustained drive, but the last two drives with Sprague in at the controls, man, has he done some of this. And when you move and you buy yourself a little time and look.
Replacing the senior star, it's Gunnar Holcomb, redshirt sophomore from Fort Lauderdale. One of the guys certainly will be in the mix to be the starter once Cato departs. And let's see what he can do. Holcomb to the flat, complete on the outside. And solid pickup for the Herd as they spread the wealth.
Those guys make people that play with them better, and that's something Rakeem Cato does here at this level.
To the outside, that's an impressive throw for Holcomb, and links up with Foster.
Now there's the throw when you talk about, oh, almost at the other hash, and you're zipping that thing over to the other sideline.
There's Cato.
He's still going.
Yeah, offering encouragement.
He's going to sleep well tonight between screaming and throwing. He's using up a lot of calories.
Butler lurching forward to the 30. Another give. More Butler inside the 20. 34-yard try. That one swerved through, and Haig will take it. But so far, so good for Doc Holliday and the Thundering Herd. 3 games, 3 wins, and Frank Solich, his team has plenty to work on after getting dismantled by the Thundering Herd. The battle for the bell. Well, a knockout blow for Doc Holliday and the Herd. Now more to come here from Huntington. Rakeem Cato, impressive performance, one of the top 5 passing games yardage-wise in his career, and it's a big win for Coach Solich and the Bobcats. In the battle for the bell, Marshall, well, ringing up the victory. And some celebration chimes. Susanna Collins standing by down to the sideline. Complete performance for Marshall. The offense doing it, the defense strong. He's worried about the second team giving up some points, but the first team was great.
Yeah, they were. The defensive performance probably matched the first team offense in a lot of ways, but that young man right there, Rakeem Cato, and the offense are nothing less than spectacular.
And again, Rakeem Cato on the afternoon, 17 of 29, 425 yards, 4 touchdown passes, the 1 interception. The Doc Holliday and the Herd will take it as they move to 3-0 and continue their quest to be unbeaten late in the season and put themselves in the picture for a big-time bowl trip down the line. The fans here at Huntington certainly appreciating the efforts for their team as they roll on to a road trip next weekend in Akron. And for now, their team feeling good about themselves with the perfect performance to this point. Rakeem Cato and the Herd will take it as they get it done. 44-14 the final score.